Dane and Claire. She grew up on her family's registered Holstein herd in Marengo, Illinois. Molly has owned and worked with many elite show animals, including her own All-American Holstein and Red and White Holstein nominations. Today, she owns and boards a small herd of elite genetic heifers. Molly works for URUS Group, a dairy and beef holding company that known for its family of organizations including Alta, Gen X, Peak, Jetstream, SCCL, Transova, and BAS. She serves as the Global Director of People Development and Human Resources, where part of her focus is to develop trainings for the global dairy producers and internal staff. During her 16-year career, she has traveled to 16 countries and throughout the U.S. to speak about and implement dairy genetic programs. She has judged major shows in 20 states throughout the U.S. and has been a lead judge 3 times at the World Dairy Expo, where she judged the 2021 International Guernsey Show, the 2016 International Ayrshire Show, and the 2014 International Junior Holstein Show. She has also judged internationally at major shows in Australia, Brazil, France, the United Kingdom, Peru, and Canada, including the 2022 United Kingdom Dairy Show, or Dairy Expo, and the 2015 National Canadian 4-H Classic at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair, as well as the 2013 International Dairy Week Brown Swiss Show in Australia. She has also been on numerous All-American and All-Canadian judges panels for 6 major breeds. Our pleasure to have Molly Sloan placing our Brown Swiss heifers here at the 2022 North American. Over on our Guernsey side, we have Seth Johnson. Seth and his wife Shannon and children Zach and Sylvia and nephews Keenan from Turnbridge, Vermont. He's a graduate of Virginia Tech, sales rep for Fibro. He's animal health, and he has worked for American Guernsey Association some 18 years. He's judged Guernseys at Harrisburg and Madison and Canadian National Show. They raise and show Guernseys with his family of Howe Acres, and he exhibited the junior champ at the World Dairy Expo in 2021. We're pleased to have Seth placing our Guernsey heifers today, and his associate, Tyler Chupp. Tyler and his wife Rebecca and daughter Reese live in Enola, Oklahoma. He's a graduate of Oklahoma State University, and he works with Family Auction Company and Shavings Company. He's judged many state fairs, including Midwest Summer National Holstein Show, the Wisconsin State Fair, the Missouri State Fair, the Colorado State Fair, Kansas All Breeds Junior Show, and many county fairs. His family also raises and breeds cattle with clients from the South. Our pleasure to have Tyler as the associate to Seth this afternoon. Guernsey winter calves to the makeup ring, please. Guernsey winter calves to the makeup ring. Our North American and International Livestock Exposition Dairy Show crew consists of Superintendent Dan Gregson, retired UK Ag agent from Stanford, Assistant Superintendent Roger Sparrow, retired UK Extension District Director, Stamping Ground. Assistant Superintendent for Milk Sampling is Linda McClanahan, UK Ag agent for Mercer County. Our testing booth coordinator is Chris Chalk, UK Agriculture agent for Barron County. Working our Southeastern National Brown Swiss Open Show for heifers today is clerk Mike Phillips, retired UK Ag agent, and Eunice Salapi, retired Kentucky Department of Agriculture dairy specialist. A ring person is John Chisholm with Kentucky Department of Agriculture. Makeup ring person Brandon Bell, UK Ag agent, Metcalfe County. And our National Guernsey Open Show, our clerks are Abby Purdue, Farm Credit Mid-America, and Brenda Strange, purebred dairy cattle producer and breeder from Scottsville. And our makeup ring person is Jay Stone, UK Ag agent, Hopkins County, and ringman David Adams, retired UK Extension District Director.
Princess, you got a queen, and then you got association people.
Okay. From our Brown Swiss Cattle Breeders Association, we have Norman Magnuson from Beloit, Wisconsin. Our show and classification coordinator is Robin Smithling. Kentucky Brown Swiss Princess is Summer Shackelford. Illinois Brown Swiss Miss is Emily Carlisle. And on our American Guernsey Association side, we have Robin Alden, Executive Officer. Queen is Reagan Kime, and Princess is Whitney Urena. Others assisting are Blaine Crosser, AGA Management Consultant, and Sierra Jordan, Records Coordination. Pleased to have these association people helping us with our Open Guernsey Show and our Open Brown Swiss Show here at the 2002 North American, 2022. Guernsey winter heifer calves to the makeup ring, please. Guernsey winter heifer calves to the makeup ring. Brown Swiss winter heifer calves to the makeup ring, please. Brown Swiss winter heifer calves to the makeup ring. Placing first in the spring heifer calf class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 10. That's Gladheart Drone Megan ET, exhibited by Edward Crossland. And second in the class is number 8, Tri-Haven Drone Pilot, exhibited by Heath and Deanna Rigby.
Well, good evening. It's really a pleasure to be here to line up the Guernsey show this evening. I spent a lot of years on the green shavings here over at the table, but never out in the middle. And it's cruel and unusual punishment to make me sit around for an entire day until 5:30 in the evening to finally see what's out here in the barn, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of the show. And we start with a really nice class here, and two calves in the spring heifer class that I can get really excited about. This heifer that starts the class just overpowers the rest of the class with her overall strength, her depth, her overall volume to eclipse the rest of the class. When you look at this top pair, two similar made heifers, kind of the same cut through that rib, but the first place heifer just out front ends the second place heifer. She's taller at the shoulder. She's got a little more of an uphill run to her, longer neck, and maybe just a bit more powerful through that front end than this second heifer. But the second heifer, a heifer that I truly love, her balance, her style, that depth of rib. And she has the advantage over that third place heifer. She's just so much neater and more refined back through that tail head, a little cleaner over the pins than that heifer coming out in third. Third over fourth, a heifer that just more consistently holds that loin strong, especially when she's on the move, than this big red heifer that comes out here in fourth. The red heifer, she actually, to me, gives me more good looks when she's standing still in line. When she wants to move, she gives up just a bit in that loin, and that's what got her into that fourth spot today. But she does use her advantage in substance of bone, strength through that front end, overall length from end to end to place over the next calf coming out. Fifth and sixth, two calves that are very similarly made. They're beautifully cut calves, beautiful through that shoulder. The calf in fifth, just a little more calf all the way through than the similar made calf in sixth. Congratulations.
Placing third in the spring heifer calf class in the Open Guernsey show is entry number 5, and that's exhibited by Bryce Burke. Fourth in the class, number 20, shown by Ty Freed. Fifth place is entry number 15, is exhibited by Leah Jenkins. Placing sixth was entry number 9, and that was exhibited by Marcy McLean. Seventh in the class, entry number 11, exhibited by Cindy Bates. Placing 8th was entry number 2 and was exhibited by Matthew Mannery. Ninth in the class was entry number 19, exhibited by Melissa Bouvier. And 10th went to entry number 4, exhibited by the Kohlers. Congratulations. Now showing winter heifer calves on our Guernsey side. Those fall heifer Guernsey calves should be in the makeup ring. Placing first in the Spring Heifer Calf class in the Open Brown Swiss Show is entry number 15. That's Blessing Phantom Veil, exhibited by Cassie Giebert. And second, entry number 16, Birds All the Way, Famous Nell, exhibited by Caleb Cole and Carter Cruz.
Well, what an outstanding group of spring heifer calves to start the Brown Swiss Show today. And the heifer that starts the class, for me, she does so quite handily. She's a heifer that just jumps right out for her balance, her correctness, the way that she blends from part to part. For me, a logical winner here to start the class in a beautifully balanced heifer. She uses her advantage in her feet and legs today to place over the heifer that follows in second. The first calf just shows me more strength to her pastern. She's also a heifer that blends in more smoothly from her neck to her shoulder and her shoulder into her barrel, being especially fuller behind her crop region there than another extremely stylish heifer that follows here in second. Second over third, a heifer that shows me more depth overall. She's deeper in her heart girth, she's deeper all the way back through that rear rib, and a heifer that's just a bit more clean cut up through her front end, being more feminine through her neck region than the heifer here in second. But the second heifer, another extremely long framed heifer, one that you really appreciate the openness and spring to her rib. And it is that added width, spring, and expansiveness all the way through her rib that carries her over the heifer in fourth. The fourth heifer is an extremely stylish heifer, one that gives you a nice look on her profile. Just want to give her more width up front to move her up any higher in the class. But it is the overall length to her frame, the stretchiness to her frame and angularity that carries her over the heifer that follows out here in fifth. And then fifth over sixth, the closer pair, but I'm giving the edge to the heifer in fifth. A calf that I feel is just a bit cut sharper over her chine. She's a bit more prominent in her pins and silky in her thigh region than the heifer here in sixth. The sixth heifer, one that you really appreciate for the length in her frame. Just want to widen her out a bit in the chest and make her a bit sharper over that chine to get her up higher today. Congratulations again, a beautiful group of spring calves.
Guernsey Fall Heifer Calves to the makeup ring, please. Guernsey Fall Heifer Calves to the makeup ring. Placing third in the Spring Heifer Calf class in the Open Brown Swiss Show is entry number 11, and that's exhibited by Joe Sparrow. Placing fourth is entry number 6, and that's exhibited by Josh Jones. Fifth in the class is entry number 29, exhibited by Madeline Branch. Placing sixth, entry number 19, exhibited by Amanda Thompson Stewart. Seventh in the class is entry number 24, exhibited by Dulcie Anderson. Placing eighth is entry number 31, exhibited by Luke Buckley. Ninth in the class is number 27, shown by Jacob Johns. Placing 10th is entry number 21, exhibited by Courtney Bell. Congratulations. Showing Class 2 winter heifer calves in the Brown Swiss Show. Those fall heifer calves should be on the way to the makeup ring. Placing first in the winter heifer calf class in the Guernsey show is entry number 30, that's Knapp's Drone Tatum, exhibited by Melinda Rushing. And second, entry number 38, Valley Jim Richard Mema Machita ETV, exhibited by Brandon Gryway.
Well, another really good class here in the Guernsey ring, and this top group of heifers are heifers that we really can get excited about. And when they're standing in line, it gets really close at the top. But when they move, this first heifer just holds those lines together. She holds that loin just perfect. She holds behind that shoulder just perfect. And that's the advantage she has over the second place calf. Just so much straighter in her lines on the move, more correct in the way she can hold that loin and keep those pins down compared to the heifer that follows her in second. I do admit we've got a little more of the substance of bone we want to see, a little more of the width in that front end in the second heifer than the first heifer. Second over third, heifer that's just more correct back through that rump structure. She can hold in her own right, holds those pins more correctly with a more correct slope from hooks to pins. She's a little bit stronger in her loin when she's standing still and when she's moving than the heifer coming out in third, and a heifer that tracks just a little more correctly on her rear legs than the third place heifer. The third place heifer does use the tremendous advantage in overall volume, depth of rib, depth of forerib over this late February calf that's coming out here in fourth. A heifer that has all the style, the balance, the straightness of lines we'd like to see. Just gives up so much strength and overall volume to the three heifers above her. She does use an advantage in just being flatter, cleaner boned, a little more refined than the really strong, extremely correct heifer that follows her out in fifth. Congratulations.
Placing third in the winter heifer calf class in the Open Guernsey show is entry number 33, and that's exhibited by Landry Fraley. Fourth in the class is number 24, and is exhibited by Colton Sheldrick. Placing fifth, entry number 34, exhibited by Melissa Bovey. Placing sixth was entry 35 and was exhibited by Reagan Tompkins. Sixth in the class, number 35. That was sixth. Seventh place is entry number 31, exhibited by Brandon Grew, that's Brandon Grew. Eighth in the class, entry number 28, shown by Diesel Dixon. Ninth place, 29, shown by Hunter Smith. 10th in the class was entry 36 and was exhibited by Cheyenne Anders. Congratulations. Now showing fall heifer calves in our Open Guernsey show. And those fall heifer calves born September 1 to November 30 should be in the makeup ring. Guernsey Summer Yearling Heifers to the makeup ring, please. Placing first in the winter heifer calf class in the open brown Swiss show is entry number 55. That's Hempstead's Victorious Vera, exhibited by Lillian Hepling. And second is entry number 57, Just So W. Tassel, exhibited by Peter Vale.
And in our brown Swiss winter calf class, another extremely quality group of heifers all the way through. And the heifer that I'm starting the class with today, for me, she's a heifer that again shows that extreme balance, that extreme dairiness and openness all the way through. The heifer in first, I give her the advantage over the one in second on showing me just a bit more cleanliness, a bit more flatness of bone. I feel she's a heifer that's deeper and flatter through her forerib and blends just a bit more tightly behind her shoulder than the heifer in second. But the second heifer, another extremely tall, long-framed heifer. You love the power and strength on this heifer. And I'm giving her the advantage in the style to her rump, the length to her frame all the way through to place over the heifer in third. Third over fourth, a heifer that I feel is just a bit more dairy and angular today. She's a heifer that's sharper over that chine. She's a bit deeper in her fore and rear rib, and a heifer that's got more spring to her rib when you get behind her than the fourth place heifer. Fourth over fifth, another heifer that again shows that added length to her frame and width to her chest, and just width all the way back through her rump structure. Then a heifer here that I moved up a bit in class that follows out in fifth place. And then fifth over sixth, again, a heifer that shows so much more cleanliness all the way through, being sharper over that chine, silkier in the thigh region, and just more feminine up through her front end than a really correct heifer here that follows out in sixth.
Placing third in the winter heifer calf class in the open brown Swiss show is entry number 56. That's Our Heart R&R Powerball Lotto, exhibited by Kenley Top. Fourth in the class is entry number 40. It's exhibited by Kaylee James. Fifth place is entry number 49, exhibited by Caitlin Bell. Placing sixth was entry 53 and was exhibited by Cash McCauley. Seventh in the class was entry number 38 and was exhibited by Lisa Gibson. Placing eighth, entry number 45, shown by Lane Domeyer. Ninth in the class was entry 39, was exhibited by Brooke Foote. 47th place, 10th, and was exhibited by Garrett Lambert. Congratulations. Now showing fall heifer calves in our open brown Swiss show. Those brown Swiss summer yearling heifers should be in the makeup ring. Brown Swiss entries 86 and 89 to the makeup ring, please. Brown Swiss entries 86 and 89 to the makeup ring. Placing first in the fall heifer calf class in the open Guernsey show is entry number 43, Twin Country Pies Triple Threat, exhibited by John Cannon. And second in the class, entry number 52, that's Dig Liggly Queenie's J.C. Quincy E.T., exhibited by John Ayers.
This fall calf class was, as advertised, just a tremendous class. You can go quite a few heifers down the line before you really start to find faults in these heifers. This heifer that starts the class for us today, she's so stylish, she's so straight-lined all the way through, and she has the advantage over the second place heifer today just in that quality of rib, the openness of rib, or spring of rib today. She's got more drop to that rear rib and the fore rib today than the lovely heifer coming out in second. I do grant that second place heifer walks more correctly on those rear legs than the winning heifer, but just doesn't quite have the openness of rib to get up in that top spot. But what a straight line, beautifully made heifer. She has the advantage over the third heifer in just being she's longer, she's taller at that at the shoulder. Just a heifer, just the two incredibly correct heifers, and the second heifer just a little longer, a little more heifer all the way through. The third heifer we moved up in that first line. When we have analyzed these heifers, this heifer was just so much more correct in the way she handles those rear legs than the heifers that we moved her over in that first pull. She's a beautifully balanced heifer, just gives up a little bit of frame to the heifers above her. But she does have the advantage when she's on the move and standing still and being just more square on those rear legs and just more comfortable in the way she moves on those rear legs than the big heifers that follow. The fourth heifer over the fifth heifer, a heifer that's just a little more silky, a little more dairy quality, maybe a bit more flat bone than the big red heifer that follows her in fifth. Two big, deep rib, powerful kinds of heifers that kind of overpower the next heifers in line. Congratulations.
Placing first in the fall heifer calf class in the Open Brown Swiss Show is entry number 63, Genlar Rasta Wyoming ETV, exhibited by Billy Joe Rhodes. And second is entry number 64, Edgeview F Destiny ETV, exhibited by Peter Vale.
Well, an exceptional group of brown Swiss heifers in this class as well, and I feel the top is really competitive in this group. The heifer that I'm starting the class with, for me, she's a heifer that's the most complete among the group. She's a heifer that has great balance and blending of parts, a heifer that moves extremely freely on her feet and legs, a heifer that's quite square all the way through that frame. And I think it's close on top, but she uses her advantage in being a bit wider through her chest. I feel she's wider and flatter in the tail head setting through her rump structure and shows just a bit more flex to her hock than the heifer that follows in second. But the second heifer, another extremely correct heifer as well. And second goes over third for me today on her advantage in her front end, being so much fuller behind her crops, knitting tighter behind that crop region, and being more upstanding through her chine. Also giving that second heifer the edge, and again, just having a bit neater tail head setting than the heifer in third. But the third heifer, no question, you love the style of this heifer. She's so dairy, so angular, so extreme in her bone quality. You love the flatness all the way through. And I feel she's a heifer that's just a bit more feminine up through her front end, being longer and leaner in her neck and a bit sharper all the way through than the deep-ribbed heifer in fourth. And fourth goes over fifth on that advantage in depth, spring, openness to her rib, as well as width to her chest, then another really silky, long-framed heifer here in fifth. And fifth goes over sixth on that advantage in her angularity, her silkiness, and her flatness of bone all the way through.
Placing third in the fowl heifer calf class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 62, and that's exhibited by Hannah Hurst. Fourth in the class is entry number 51, shown by Shocking Genetics. Fifth in the class is entry number 59 and is shown by Sutton Paulson. Placing sixth, entry number 50, exhibited by Richard Guidings. Seventh in the class is entry number 55 and is shown by Cindy Bates. Placing eighth is entry number 45 and is exhibited by Beth Clark. Ninth in the class is entry number 57, shown by Kevin Stoltzfus. 10th is entry number 46 and is exhibited by Brandon Gray.
See, that's confusing, right? Yes.
Placing third in the Open Brown Swiss Show Fall Heifer calf class is entry number 77. That's exhibited by Dalen Gehrig. Fourth place goes to entry 72 and was shown by Megan McCoy. Fifth in the class of 74, exhibited by Joe Sparrow. Placing sixth was entry number 78 and was shown by Jesse Muse. Seventh place in the class is entry number 60, shown by Brooke Foote. Eighth place, entry number 66, exhibited by Peter Vale. Ninth in the class is 65 and is exhibited by Wyatt and Rosalie Zier. Placing 10th, entry number 70, shown by Hayden Pike. Congratulations. Guernsey Spring Yearling Calves to the makeup ring, please. Brown Swiss Winter Yearling Heifers should be named to make up the ring, please. Class 5 Spring Yearling Heifers in the Guernseys, please. We need you in the makeup ring. Spring Heifers for Spring Yearling Heifers, Guernseys to the makeup ring, please. Placing first in the summer yearling heifer class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 76, Cape May Latimer Honey, exhibited by Savannah Thomas. And second is entry number 71, Clover Patch Drone Lexi, exhibited by William Romovich.
Well, a great pair of heifers to start the summer yearling class. These two heifers, I think, sort themselves quite handily to the top and just being incredibly correct heifers all the way through. That being said, the heifer that wins the class, there's just a little more on this heifer everywhere you look compared to the second heifer. Just a bit wider in the front end, just a little deeper through that rib, just a little more spring to her rib today. And you get behind them, she's just a bit wider through the pins, a little wider all the way through that rump, and a little flatter bone than the heifer that comes out in second. But what a heifer in second. She's so correct all the way through, and she's got that incredible depth to her rib today. And the thing that sets her apart, over the third heifer, she's just stronger through that loin today. She stands straighter on her rear legs when viewed from the side, and gets those legs more squarely under her as she moves and stands than the heifer in third. The heifer in third uses that advantage through that front end over the heifer in fourth. She's longer through that neck, just sharper over the shoulder, just a longer, more feminine heifer through that front end than this big, strong heifer that follows out here in fourth. The heifer in fourth over the heifer in fifth just uses her overall advantage in strength, depth of heart, depth of rear rib to place over a really correct heifer in fifth that just doesn't quite have the flat bone, the femininity to place higher in the class. Congratulations.
Placing first in the summer yearling heifer class in the Open Brown Swiss Show is entry number 86. That's i.e. Four Seasons Fantasy Star, exhibited by Josh Fry. And second in the class is 87, Brook Hollow Turtle Hottie E.T., exhibited by Heather Yoder.
And in our Brown Swiss Summer Yearling class here, what an exceptional pair of heifers to start the class. And the heifer that I found at the top, for me, she wins so logically. Just a beautiful, stylish, balanced heifer here, extremely complete all the way through. And I really love the way that she blends so well from part to part. For me today, she goes over the heifer in second, primarily on her feet and legs. I feel she's standing with a bit less set to her hock today, and she also just knits a bit tighter behind that crop region than the heifer that follows in second. But the second heifer, a beautiful, stylish heifer in her own right. She follows the pattern of the first one with that great balance and openness to her rib structure and the flatness and the silkiness to her bone quality all the way through. And for me, the one in second today, she goes over the third place heifer. Again, I give her that advantage up through her front end. I feel she blends just a bit more smoothly from her neck to her shoulder and her shoulder into her barrel. And she's also fuller behind that crop region than the heifer here in third. The third heifer, an extremely stylish heifer. Again, you love the length to the frame on this heifer and the flatness to her bone. And I'm giving her that advantage today in her dairiness, angularity, and stretchiness all the way through her frame to place over the heifer here in fourth. And then fourth over fifth, another heifer that I feel is just longer from her nose to her tail. When you get behind her, she's got a bit more spring to her rib than another extremely balanced heifer in fifth. And then fifth goes over sixth on her distinct advantage there in the depth, the spring, and the openness to her rib. A great group of heifers. Again, congratulations.
Placing third in the summer yearling heifer class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 67, and that's exhibited by Braden and Connor Hartman. Fourth in the class is 69, exhibited by Vera Weaver. Placing fifth was 74, and that was exhibited by Leah Jenkins. 68 placed sixth and was shown by Roy Lamb. Placing seventh was entry number 75, exhibited by Brianna Sheldrick. Eighth in the class, entry number 73, shown by Kyle Polk. Eighth in the class is entry, well, that was eighth, and ninth in the class is entry 65, exhibited by Cheyenne Andrews. Congratulations. Placing third in the summer yearling heifer class in the Open Brown Swiss Show is entry number 88, and that's exhibited by Cassie Giebert. And placing fourth is entry 91, exhibited by Carter Kibler. Fifth in the class is number 84, exhibited by Caitlin Bell. Placing sixth, entry 89, exhibited by Lauren Almsey. Placing seventh was entry 79, exhibited by Hayden Holschut. Eighth place, entry 94, exhibited by Garrett Lambert. Ninth in the class was entry number 90 and was shown by Tyler London. Number 80 placed 10th and was exhibited by Mackenzie Pettigo. Congratulations. Now showing spring yearling heifers in our open brown Swiss show. Those winter yearling heifers should be in the makeup ring. Showing spring yearling heifers in our open Guernsey show. Those spring yearlings should be in the makeup ring. Guernsey, spring yearling heifers to the makeup ring, please. Placing first in the spring yearling heifer class in the open brown Swiss show is entry number 96. That's Jaden Rasta Dance, exhibited by Hayden Hofschult. And second in the class is entry number 101, Blessing Garbo Famous Prop Fire, exhibited by Cassie Giebert.
Well, a really impressive top end of this class here in the Brown Swiss Spring Yearling class. And the heifer that starts the class, she just overwhelms the group with her dairiness, her angularity, her femininity, and silkiness all the way through. And it is that advantage that she has in just being so much sharper and cleaner and leaner all the way through her frame to go over the heifer that follows in second. The second heifer, another extremely quality heifer as well. Another one that you really appreciate for the balance, the blending of parts. A heifer that's so wide in her chest and carries that width all the way through. A heifer that for me today is, again, just a bit more clean cut today than the heifer that follows here in third. The second heifer shows more spring to her rib, more depth and openness to her forerib than an extremely balanced heifer again here in third. Third goes over fourth. There's a bit of an age difference, but I still feel age for age, the third one here. She's just so much more expansive about her rib structure. When you get in front of her, she's got that added width to her chest, depth to her forerib. She's so much deeper in her heart and back through her flank region than another extremely stylish flat-boned heifer here that follows in fourth. Fourth goes over fifth for me today. I feel she's again a heifer that just blends a bit more smoothly behind her shoulder. She's also silkier in her bone quality than the heifer here in fifth place. And then fifth over sixth, another heifer that just shows a bit more length to her frame and depth to her rib.
Placing third in the spring yearling heifer class in the open brown Swiss show is entry number 100, and that's exhibited by Cash McCauley. Fourth in the class is 95 and was shown by Brian Neerman. Placing fifth was entry number 103 and was exhibited by Nolendale Farm. Sixth in the class, number 99, exhibited by Carissa Mercer. Placing seventh was entry number 102 and was shown by Amanda O'Brien. Congratulations. Ready now for winter yearling heifers in our open brown Swiss show. Fall yearling heifers should be in the makeup ring or headed that way. Placing first in the spring yearling heifer class at the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 87, and that's Gladheart Bow Desi E.T., exhibited by Edward Crossland. And second in the class, entry number 78, Twin County Pines Twilight E.T., exhibited by Landry Fraley.
Well, I think we bumped up here in depth and quality here in this class. These three heifers in particular at the top of the class, we just love. They're heifers that are big, they're strong, they're wide, they walk out on correct sets of feet and legs. They're just heifers that really you can get excited about their future as Guernsey cows. But that being said, the heifer that starts the class, she's balanced, she's wide. She kind of eclipses the class as the most complete heifer for us today. When you compare her to the second heifer, she's tracking straighter on those front legs than the second heifer. She handles her rear legs just a little nicer and a little more square under her than the heifer behind her, but take nothing away from this second heifer. You just love the straightness of line. She probably has a little more drop to her rear rib today than the heifer that wins the class. The heifer in second over the heifer in third, really a close pair for us. Standing still, we almost made the switch. But when they are on the move, that heifer in second just holds that loin stronger today. She holds those pins down more correctly with a more desirable slope from hooks to pins than does the heifer coming out in third. I admit that heifer in third is stronger and fuller behind the shoulder in the crops, and a heifer that just has just a bit more width all the way through than the heifer in second. Third over fourth, a heifer that is just more stylish all the way through. She's a bit sharper on the shoulder. She is fuller behind the shoulder than the heifer coming out in fourth, and just a heifer that's just a little flashier, just catches your eye a little more all the way through than this really correct long heifer coming out in fourth. Fourth over fifth, a heifer that just has much more front end. She's more upstanding. She's stronger through that front end than this really correct dairy heifer coming out in fifth. Congratulations.
Placing third in the spring yearling heifer class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 91, and that's exhibited by Braden and Connor Hartman. Fourth in the class was number 90 and was exhibited by Cassie Jane Prince. Placing fifth, 82, exhibited by the Kohlers. Sixth in the class was 83 and was shown by Ellie Lett. Placing eighth was entry number 80 and was exhibited by Kyle Bonavita. Placing ninth in the class was entry number 81, shown by Hobbs Lutz. 10th in the class was entry number 79 and was exhibited by Isaac DeBusk. Congratulations. Fall yearling heifers not in milk in the Open Guernsey Show should be in a makeup ring. Guernsey fall yearling heifers to the makeup ring, please. Guernsey fall yearling heifers to the makeup ring. Placing first in the winter yearling heifer class in the Open Brown Swiss show is entry number 106, Cedar Way Winning Formula Michelle, exhibited by Joe Sparrow. And second in the class, number 108, Edgeview D Delaney ETV, exhibited by Luke Buckley.
Well, just a tremendous heifer here to start the winter yearling brown Swiss class. A heifer that puts together that beautiful combination of dairiness and strength, and a heifer that just has so much silky dairy quality all the way through, but also that great width from her chest all the way back through her rump structure. For me, the heifer at the top of the class today, she goes over the 1 and 2nd on that extremity that she has in her dairiness, her sharpness over her top line, her silkiness and depth to her rib, as well as the width to her rump structure when you get behind her to go over this heifer here that follows in 2nd. 2nd over 3rd for me today, I just feel she shows a bit more femininity when you get them out here on the move, just a little bit more angular when you see her profile, and has a bit more style all the way up through her front end than the heifer that follows here in 3rd. But the 3rd heifer, another heifer, when you get behind her, you sure appreciate the balance that she has, the spring to her rib, the correctness all the way through. And it is that correctness up through her front end, the way that she has just a bit more spring to her rib and fullness behind her shoulder, that takes her over the long-framed heifer here in 4th. 4th goes over 5th here today on that, again, that advantage that she has in her spring, her openness to her rib, than the 5th heifer. The 5th heifer is the youngest in the class, an extremely balanced heifer, one that I think will continue to get better with time. Just needs to mass out a bit in her rib to get up higher in the class. But she does use her advantage in her dairiness and openness to go over the heifer in 6th.
Placing 3rd in the winter yearling heifer class in the Open Brown Swiss show is entry number 110, and that's exhibited by Jesse Kelly. 4th in the class, number 109, exhibited by Colt Buckley. 5th place, 104, shown by Brian Neerman. 6th in the class was entry number 111 and was shown by Amanda O'Brien. Congratulations. Placing first in Class 6 winter yearling heifers in the Open Guernsey show is entry number 94, Hartdale S. Celebrity, exhibited by Braden and Connor Hartman. Second in the class, entry number 101, Bach Indigo Tabby Tilly, exhibited by Renee and Sarah Bach.
Well, some really quality heifers starting the class, and we had some different styles to choose from here in this class. And we went with this pair of really strong, powerful heifers to start the class. This red heifer kind of wins that class pretty handily. She's just got that beautiful uphill run. She walks out on a really correct set of feet and legs. And to me today, compared to the second heifer, she's a bit longer in her neck. She's a little longer all the way through, a little longer from hooks to pins, and just a little bit more of that show ring style through that front end than the heifer coming out in second. The heifer in second, an incredibly correct heifer, and she's going to use that advantage in power through her front end. She's just wider through her chest floor, and when you get to the back of the heifer, she's stronger in her loin than the third place heifer, and just a little more square in the way she stands and walks on those rear legs than this ultra dairy heifer coming out in third. Third over fourth, a heifer that's got a little more spring to that beautiful dairy rib today than the heifer coming out in fourth, but two very similar heifers, and you admire the dairy quality on both of them. And both those heifers, they use their advantage in rump structure. They're stronger in the loin than the heifers coming out behind them, and just hold those pins and tail head down more neatly than the heifers that finished the class. Congratulations.
Placing third in the winter heifer class, winter yearling heifer class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 95, and that's exhibited by Elizabeth Rodel. Placing fourth, entry number 99, exhibited by Ashley Krubel. Fifth in the class, entry number 100, shown by the Kohlers. Placing sixth was entry 98 and was exhibited by Mary Beth Collette. Congratulations. Placing first in the fall yearling heifer class in the open brown Swiss show is entry number 116, Right Way Famous TikTok ET, exhibited by Landry Fraley. And second in the class is entry number 115, exhibited by Dead End, and that is Dead End Rasta Theo, exhibited by Jesse Kelly.
Well, what a heifer here to win the senior yearling class in the brown Swiss ring. She's a heifer again that just overwhelms the group with her strength, her openness, and her balance all the way through. The heifer that starts the class, she uses that decided advantage in her front end, the fullness up through her chine, the lift up through her overall length. A heifer that has so much more depth to her forerib, to her rear rib, to go over the heifer that follows here in second. The second heifer, another extremely balanced heifer in her own right, a heifer that has that same dariness and openness about her frame. And I'm going to give her the advantage today in having more depth, more spring to her rib structure to go over the heifer that follows here in third. The second heifer also giving her that edge and being a bit flatter in the bone quality all the way through her hock than the third heifer. Third over fourth is a closer pair for me. I just feel that heifer in third has so much more dariness, so much more length from end to end, and she's much silkier in her thigh region to go over the heifer here in fourth. But the fourth heifer, another heifer you really admire for the spring to her rib, the openness to her rib, and the width to her chest. And she uses that decided advantage in the depth, the sweep, the spring and openness to her rib to go over the heifer here that follows out in fifth. And then fifth over sixth, the heifer that just has so much more length to her frame. She's a more stylish heifer, being so much more feminine up through her head and neck than the heifer that follows out in sixth.
Placing third in the fall yearling heifer class in the open brown Swiss show is entry number 114, exhibited by Brian Neerman. Fourth in the class, 113, exhibited by Grace and Elliott Cole. Placing fifth was entry number 118 and was exhibited by Elizabeth Byers. Sixth in the class was 117 and was shown by Mike Hickman. Seventh place is entry 112 and is exhibited by Laura Fry. Placing eight is entry number 120 and exhibited by Dale Tidwell. Congratulations. Brown Swiss exhibitors, the group class that you will be showing in after the selection of junior champion is junior best 3 females, if you have entered that class.
Well, before I name junior champion of the Brown Swiss Show, let's give these exhibitors an extremely big round of applause on just outstanding quality here this afternoon and this evening. Well, it's been an extreme honor and privilege to be able to evaluate the caliber of animals here. I really want to commend those who've bred these animals, those who've exhibited them, and those who've prepared and presented them at the quality with which you have. It's just extremely impressive all the way through. I did go ahead and pull out my 6 favorite heifers of the show here, head to tail. I started our lineup with a winner from the spring calf class, a calf that just spells balance, a heifer with so much complete blending of parts, a heifer that's extremely correct all the way through. I have our winner from the summer yearling class, another heifer that just exudes balance and style and dairiness, a heifer that's extremely complete all the way through as well. I have the heifer that stood second to her in class out here, another extremely dairy heifer with beautiful openness to her rib. I also pulled out some older yearlings down here with our spring yearling, a heifer that just has so much incredible dairiness through her frame, an extremely flat-ribbed open heifer, just a silky, silky heifer here as well. The winter yearling, a heifer that's as long as they come, extreme in her dairiness and angularity. And finally, our senior yearling down here that has so much dairy strength, so much openness, and extremely massive heifer here to round out our group. At this time, I'll go out and congratulate your junior champion, reserve, and honorable mention in that order. And once I do so, please give them a big round of applause. Well, what an outstanding group again. But for me, the longer they're out here, it gets pretty easy to go with this summer yearling to be your junior champion. She's a heifer that just puts it all together for me today. A heifer that when she walks in, she's got that beautiful front end, a heifer that just blends so extremely well from part to part. And she's got that great dairy strength and balance and a beautiful set of feet and legs. For reserve, I'm gonna follow with the winter yearling heifer, a heifer that has so much length, so much angularity, beautiful openness about her frame, just giving the edge today to the summer yearling, a bit the way she blends behind her shoulder, but just an exceptional winter yearling there as well. Honorable mention's gonna be on the spring calf, a calf that I just fell in love with. Still really admire her the longer she's out here. Just wanna give her an opportunity to gain some maturity to get above the yearlings, but just an exceptional heifer there to round out the group. Congratulations again to the Brown Swiss exhibitors.
Placing first in the fall yearling heifer class in the Open Guernsey Show is entry number 105. That snaps to App Tandy, exhibited by Melinda Rushing. And second in the class is entry number 115, High Field Ladies Man Marla, exhibited by Kyle Polk.
A quality class to finish the heifer classes here. And to me, these 2 heifers that start the class, there's all shapes and sizes. There's different body conditions. There's different times that these heifers are coming due. But these 2 heifers, to me, are the most balanced, correct heifers all the way through. And they make quite a pair. We just love that balance. We love the correct feet and legs that they have to get to the top of that class. And we love the correct rump structure they show. When you line these 2 heifers up together, that first place heifer just has more extension through that front end. She's a little more upstanding in the shoulder, just a tick sharper through that shoulder than the second place heifer, and a little longer through that neck. But it's a close placing here, 2 really correct heifers. Second over third, the second heifer surely gives up quite a bit of front end, but she's so much more correct in her rump structure. She holds those pins down lower than her hooks where they should be compared to the third place heifer. I do give that third heifer quite an advantage in front end width and overall power. She in turn just has a little more dairy quality, a little more spring to her rib, and she's a little stronger through her loin than this big heifer that comes out fourth. We tried this big heifer in a couple different spots. I'd like to flatten her bone, just give her a little more dairy quality, but she is really correct through that rump and a big, strong heifer, and she does use that overall width and power to place over the heifer coming out here in 5th. The heifer in 4th, just so much wider through the front end, so much more bone and strength, and when you get behind them, quite a bit more width back through those pins to place over this really straight-lined, stylish heifer in 5th that just doesn't have the overall width to place higher. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the junior champion of the 2022 North American International Livestock Exposition, and that is entry number 86, i.e. Four Seasons Fancy Star, exhibited by Josh Fry. And congratulations to the reserve, is entry number 106, Cedar Way Winning Formula Michelle, exhibited by Joe Sparrow.
It's right here. Her name, this is the right animal. It's just her, not Joe. Like it got mixed up.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Okay, thank you. We'll make that correction. Placing third in the fall yearling heifer class in the open Guernsey show is entry number 107. That's exhibited by Emily Stuff Myers. Fourth in the class, entry number 110, shown by Jesse Kelly. Placing fifth was entry number 104 and was exhibited by Kylie Weaver. Sixth place, entry 113, shown by Daniel Stipper. And eighth place is entry number 111, shown by Melinda Rushing. Placing ninth was 109, exhibited by Brandon Grew. And 10th in the class is entry number 102, exhibited by Valerie Greenleaf. A correction on the reserve junior champion in the winter Open Brown Swiss show. It is 106 Cedar Way Winning Formula Michelle, but it's exhibited by Adele Biasini. Our apologies. Now showing junior best 3 in our Open Brown Swiss show. Now showing for our junior champion in our Open Guernsey show.
And in our Brown Swiss Junior Best 3 here, we've got the 2 entries, and I certainly want to congratulate both exhibitors on 2 outstanding entries here. I'm going to start with the group in first. For me, primarily, they just have a bit more consistency in the dairiness the angularity, the flatness to the bone quality among the three in the group here. To go over the group in second. The second group, a group I certainly appreciate for the dairy strength, the spring to the rib among the group, and the length of frame. Again, congratulations to the Brown Swiss exhibitors on an outstanding heifer show today.
Placing first in the junior best 3 females in the Open Brown Swiss Show is entry of Caitlin Bell, and second is the entry of Laura Fry. Congratulations. And congratulations to all this evening in our Open Brown Swiss Show, the Heifer Show. We will be returning for the Cow Show. And our thanks to Molly Sloan for placing our heifers here at 2022 North American.